Hello and Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. I thought that I would give a little bit of a sneak preview of some of the things I've got in the docket for videos for the first quarter of this year. And then I was also going to share kind of what devices I'm using now and see how that's evolved versus where we were, say, a year ago. And then we'll wrap it up. So just going to do a quick short video. And we'll start off with my list of things that I've got. I've got my Viwoods here with the list for coming videos. And the first thing on the list is the Note Max. This is the 13-inch black and white device from Boox. What's interesting about it is that for its size, it's relatively inexpensive. It's still expensive overall at $650. But there's an optional keyboard folio that you can get with the device. It's not out yet, but should be coming soon. The device itself will definitely be coming soon. So those videos probably will be the first videos I release after this video. And what I'm really intrigued about is how well does it deliver on this idea of a mobile typing experience, just because of the larger screen size and the integrated keyboard. It seems like reading and writing are like definitely the things that e-ink does the best, and typing feels like it should be right there too, but nothing's really kind of delivered. And I suppose you can say that's still going to be true with the Note Max, because on a price basis it's still quite expensive, and that's going to make it prohibitive for a lot of folks. But still, overall, I'm just curious about that particular aspect, and we'll be taking a look at that. Shortly after that, we'll be looking at how my channel did in 2024, and we're actually going to go into not only the stats of the channel, but I'm going to share some of the finances as well. And the reason why I'm going to do this is twofold. So first off, I've seen other YouTubers kind of share some of their financial information, and it's just very helpful and really interesting. So I thought that would be kind of fun. But also you'll get a really good sense of where my channel's coming from, and that sort of thing. I think you'll be surprised at what comes out of that. So that should be really interesting, and that's coming. Bigme has released a whole suite of devices, all with kind of the same form factor, but different internals, some black and white, some in color. And most of them I wouldn't recommend. And this goes back to my B1051C video, and you can see those from last year. But there's one particular model that really intrigues me, and it's a black and white version. It's not even 300 ppi, it's actually 227. And just as a tablet alone, I wouldn't recommend it. But you can buy that tablet and a keyboard, and this is a 10-inch device, for less than $500. I think that's the first e-ink device that you can get on the market with an integrated keyboard cover for under $500. So I'm kind of intrigued about that, and in theory that should play to Bigme's strengths. So I think there's potential there. So I'm not going to review the device, the lower inexpensive device, but I do have the B1051C, as I noted, and I can use that with the keyboard as well. So I'm going to review the keyboard essentially, and it'll be an interesting contrast too to the Note Max. Just intuitively, without having touched either of the keyboards, Bigme might actually have an advantage here, in that it looks like the Bigme keyboard allows for different angles to put the screen on, where the Note Max might be fixed. I'm not sure about that, but that might be a thing. So there might be an advantage here for Bigme. Certainly we know on price, but there might be other advantages as well. So I'm super curious about that. In addition to that, Bigme has done some updates, and one of their best features, called Global Handwriting, has a new kind of UI. So we're going to take a look at that, because I think that's worth revisiting. I did buy the Lamy pen, the crystal pen that you can see through, that just got released alongside with the Manta. So that's arrived, and we'll take a look at my thoughts on that stylus versus the Heart of Metal 2 pen. So that should be an interesting review. And then, kind of off the beaten track, I'm going to be receiving from a Kickstarter campaign Transformers cards. These are Transformers based on the toys that were released, or at least the artwork on the toys that were released between kind of 1984 and 1986. And so I'm going to do a few videos on that. There's a number of videos you can see already on the internet that kind of shows what those cards look like. So I'm going to try to infuse this with a little bit of my own nostalgia and little brief stories about the relevance of some of the characters, particularly as toys and from a marketing perspective, which I think is kind of interesting. It Transformers really was a masterclass in marketing. So we'll talk a little bit about that, and we'll talk a little bit about the nostalgia of playing with some of these toys. So hopefully it'll be fun. It'll be an experiment for sure, but we'll see how that goes. I might do something similar off the beaten path around dice. So I kind of grew up playing D&D. I didn't play it a lot. Didn't have an opportunity because you need a good dungeon master. You need good other players. So I just never really had much of an opportunity. But I always followed it. I did play later in life. I'm used to having just regular dice made of some sort of plastic substance. But dice now can be metal. It can be in all sorts of different materials. And they're doing different forms of random generators, if you will. And I'm going to have a few of those to kind of show off. So I might do a video on that just to show how things have changed, because there seems to be a lot of innovation happening in this space just in the last few years. So it's kind of interesting. So we'll take a look at that. I will, going back to my kind of core competency of these e-ink devices, do some more tips and tricks. I've got a few ideas kind of lined up about that, but I'm still kind of forming them. So not quite ready to talk about that yet, but people have been asking for that. So I'll definitely be looking to do that more in this coming year. Okay, so that's basically what we have on the docket so far in terms of potential ideas and videos coming out in the next few months. Let me take a brief moment to talk about the devices that I'm currently using. Now, a year ago, I had a rotation of 3 devices. So I had my work device, which is a Supernote A5X. I had my kind of desktop device, which at the time was the Boox Note Air 3C. And then I had my reader of choice. I like the 8-inch screen size, so I had the Boox Tab Mini. And those were the devices, at least as my memory serves me, that I was using going into 2024. Coming into 2025, completely changed everything. My daily driver at work is, of course, the Manta, the successor to the A5X, so no surprise there. My preferred desktop device, believe it or not, is the Viwoods AI Paper. I really like writing on this device. So that's kind of replaced the Note Air 3C and the 4C as well. And then my reader of choice currently is the Bigme S6 Color Plus Lite. But I have a feeling of the 3 devices, that's the one that's most likely to change during the course of this year. But who knows? I mean, I review a lot of devices and I get an opportunity to shuffle things around. So we'll see what happens in 2025, but that's what I'm using currently. Okay, the last thing I want to say before we kind of sign off here is I just want to share my deep appreciation for all the viewers who have watched my videos and subscribed, and in particular, the ones that have left comments noting that they enjoyed my videos and they found the videos that were helpful to them, because that's really what this channel is about. Again, when we get to the finances, you'll see that kind of reinforced with what I share there. But I really am fundamentally trying to help people. And my goal is not to be the one voice out there to reviewing devices. In fact, I would hope that for anyone watching my videos, they're watching other videos as well. I just want to be one voice and a unique voice in this field. And I think when people, drop notes about, things that, liking the video and how much it helped them, that helps kind of substantiate to me that I'm being successful in that mission. So I really appreciate it. And I just wanted to thank you very much for those comments and your support. And I wish us all a happy new year, and I hope to see you in 2025. All right, until then, I will see you next time.